Chromia is the cryptocurrency that exploded back in March 2021 and since then hasn't really shown signs of potential growth until the moment. So in today's video I will share with you what is a potential setup to buy the Chromia, what are the risks involved, and what is a realistic price prediction. Hello everyone, it's Petko Alexandrov. Welcome to the Trading Academy's channel and stay with me until the end of this video to see what is a realistic price prediction for Chromia, and as well I will share with you what is the potential setup I'm waiting for in order to add Chromia to my portfolio. And at the time of recording this video I don't have any Chromia into my portfolio because, as I've said at the beginning of the video, it's been really negative since its boom in March 2021. So before I give you my thoughts and I do a detailed technical analysis over the chart, I want to show you a little bit more about that crypto. So on the right side you can notice that the all-time high is 0.7387, which was about 4 months ago, so that top right here is the record high, and all-time low sits at 0.008740. And if I scroll higher you will see that Chromia ranks at 235th spot according to the market cap. And on the right side you can check out the official website. So that's a Swedish cryptocurrency. I mean, it was launched by a company from Sweden and the company is called Chromia, I believe it was. So on the front page you can see that Chromia is a blockchain platform making it easy for people to build decentralized app in the real world for a better world. Sounds really nice what it's written there. And if you scroll lower you will notice that Chromia works for games as well, right? They can use Chromia for enterprise as well and for DeFi. So it's a lot of possibilities obviously with Chromia. And as you know, recently I am adding more tokens from the NFT world. Platforms that offer NFT games are exploding at the moment, and Chromia is quite often a top gainer on most exchanges. If I go to Binance, for example, you will see that even today Chromia sits at a third spot right at the current moment I'm recording the video, did already above 18%, while Bitcoin is not really positive the last days, same with Ethereum and some of the major cryptos right there. So when I notice a cryptocurrency that actually gains profits while Bitcoin is kind of sideways or even negative, I get more and more interested in this coin because such coins usually bring diversification into our portfolios, because if we have more of Bitcoin and Ethereum and when the market is negative, we can actually gain some profits with such coins that are positive in times when Bitcoin is negative. And before I give you my thoughts on Chromia, make sure to check out my Patreon's page below in the description, because there you will find a very useful spreadsheet that I've been using for quite a long time to track all the cryptocurrencies that I have in my portfolio, and you will be able to download it so you can track your portfolio. And as you see, at the current moment I don't have any Chromia because, as I already said, it's been quite negative after the boom. And just a few videos ago I was talking about how to buy a coin after it exploded that much. So for example, if you see a cryptocurrency exploding that much, what do you do then? I mean, you cannot really jump somewhere because you might jump at the top, and I can assure you many did, and they have bought it at 0.70 and now are having really bad losses. And if they don't have capital to buy the lower level to average the price, they might handle these losses for a few more months or even years. Now what I was looking at Chromia to enter was that counter trend line here, but you will see something interesting. There was no an impulsive break. So Usually I use these counter trend lines, and when the price breaks, I enter and I buy it because it's a sign that the buyers are getting stronger, that the trend might be reversing. However, this trend line here, what happened, we had one fake entry here, then we had another one, and then here the price just went around the line, which is not the thing I want to see. And I usually want to see the candlestick closing above the line, and it didn't happen here, and here we didn't have any impulsive movement back in mid-June. So this counter trend line didn't work actually. Now what happened the recent days is Chromia formed a new uptrend, and I will show it to you. So if you're familiar with the trend, you can see it straight away, I'm sure. If you're not, I will explain it very simply. The pure definition of an uptrend is when we have series of higher highs. So since it's an uptrend, I will just make those circles green. So we need to see series of higher lows and series of higher highs. This high was broken and we had a new high, and just in a second I'll be talking about this candlestick here because it's really important. But if you notice, before that we have lower lows and lower highs, which is a downtrend. And now when we had this failure of the recent low, this gives us the sign that potentially we might have a new uptrend, and such one more time was formed. However, this candlestick is the candlestick we don't want to see. Okay, it is called Gravestone Doji Candlestick. Alright, so I know that if you hear it for the first time it sounds a bit scary probably, but Gravestone Doji, actually it's not a perfect 100% Gravestone Doji, because if I zoom, you will see that we have a little body right here. There is a distance between the opening and the closing of the price. So for the beginners, when we look at candlesticks, we have four values. We have the opening of the bar, then we have the closing of the bar, then we see how far the bar went downwards, so this is the low of the bar, or this is the high of the bar. And if I put the mouse on this candlestick, for example, you can see the four values coming from TradingView platform. So here it is, and you can notice that when we have a positive candlestick, the closing is much higher than the opening. But with this candlestick right here, if I put the mouse exactly on the body, you will see that the opening sits at 0.2516 and the closing sits at 0.2527. Okay, this is very close. And to have a perfect 100% Gravestone Doji, we need to see the opening, the low, and the close at the very same price. Alright, so you can imagine how it will look like. It will be just a small horizontal line here, and then we will not have that tail on the bottom, right? But in this case we can say that this is a Gravestone Doji. And why I'm explaining in details this candlestick formation, because it's a negative sign, okay? It's bearish sign rather than being positive right after the new uptrend is formed. And why I say it's bearish, because at this point the buyers were stronger, this recent high was conquered, the price reached nearly to 0.35 cents, and then something happened, the price dropped, okay? And you can see that this day closed nearly at the opening, so all those gains were wiped out and the price dropped in the next 2 days. And usually when you see such a Gravestone Doji, the next days are expected to be negative. Alright, so you might get confused now. Okay, what do we have? We have a new uptrend, but we have that Gravestone Doji that I'm talking about. So are we going to buy it or are we going to sell it? Well, as you know, I cannot advise you if it's the best time to buy or not. I usually just analyze the charts and give you my point of view, and I share with you what I'm buying and when I'm buying it, when I'm selling it. But at the current moment, I prefer to wait a little bit more. First of all, I want to see that Gravestone Doji conquered. Okay, I want to see the high which in this case is 0.3383. So I want to see that high broken, which will kind of eliminate the negativeness we have from this Gravestone Doji, and at the same time we can have a new counter trend line right over here, okay, and a potential break of that counter trend line will be another positive sign. So if I have to be precise and give you an idea where I would be buying it, I can say one time at the break of the counter trend line and a second time break of the highest point of that Gravestone Doji. But overall, looking at the big picture of the chart, it's still very bearish, okay? And I personally wouldn't invest a lot in Chromia at the current moment. Looking at the bigger picture, I really don't like cryptos that exploded at one moment and then for a few months they did nothing. It's just not the asset I want to buy. For example, if I compare it to, what is it, Mana, you will see a little bit different. So here I have some analysis for Mana that I recently did, and I have bought a few times Mana at those support levels, but you can see the difference in the chart. Okay, let me switch it again. Chromia did just one move in a few days and it's been negative since then, while Mana, for example, did a consecutive up moves, or it formed a very clear uptrend for quite a long time, for a few months, and then it dropped together with the market and now is forming a new uptrend again. So if I decide to invest in Chromia, it would be a small investment from my portfolio, not even above 1%. However, that's a personal choice. But one more time, from my perspective, I want to see a clear uptrend with a series of high highs and high lows without such reversal candlesticks. Alright, so that's how I'm looking at Chromia at the current moment. And now, what is the potential target if the price actually continues higher? Now, at the beginning of the video, I've mentioned that this top that we have from the 13th of March is the all-time high, right? So we really don't have any resistance levels on the top, but I will place the few that we have. And the resistance levels are levels at which the price stopped previously, and we can use them as targets. Definitely we have a strong resistance level at 0.48, and I always prefer to round these numbers, so this one would sit at 0.50, okay, because the round numbers always matter. And then we would have one resistance level at 0.77 or even 0.80. Alright, so I just round them always to give a little bit more space. And if you're a short-term player, if you want to grab some quick profits, and even in this case, it wouldn't be that short-term trading, because if we buy it at 0.30 and then we sell it at 0.50 and even 0.70 or 0.80, right over here we would be above 100% of a profit, which is just awesome. But if you want to keep it even for longer, if you believe in their project, if you are a fan of Chromia and you believe it will reach the $1, then definitely the $1 should be considered as a resistance as well, because it's the most roundish number we can have above the current price. And for hard targets, what I use, if you have seen some of my other videos, you would know that I'm using the Fibonacci retracement, and this indicator is quite useful not just for retracement levels that it shows, but for targets. Okay, so I draw it getting the most recent huge move, which is the one over here we have. And then if I squeeze the chart a little bit, you will see that we have targets on the top. The first target sits at 121, the second one nearly touches the $2, and then the third and the fourth are higher at 267 and 312. Okay, usually I use the second target. With my experience, it just works better. It worked for me perfectly quite many times for Bitcoin and Ethereum. If I switch to my Bitcoin analysis, you will see how many times I have been using this method, and the price reaches the second target much easier compared to the third and the fourth target. So a realistic price prediction if Chromia reaches new record highs is $2, or if I have to stick to what Fibonacci shows me, 194. But let's say if I buy Chromia with this setup right over here and the price reaches at 180 or 190, just below that target, below the roundish $2, I would be happy taking the profit and then wait for the next reversal to buy it cheap, and then again waiting for the next target. And this is how I try to get on the market. After a huge reversal, we have to see some sign of new positive move and then look for realistic targets, okay? I don't want this video to be a clickbait video where I will say, okay, Chromia will reach $200 or something unrealistic like many YouTubers unfortunately do. I'd as well be super happy if you drop your Chromia price prediction in the comments below, so the video will be more useful for everyone watching. And if you're wondering where I'm doing this analysis, I'm using CoinGecko right now. I'm not promoting the website or anything. There is just a very nice overview of most coins. On the right side we can see the highs, the lows. Below, if I scroll lower, we see on which exchanges Chromia could be traded. Binance is right there. I will drop a link as well to Binance if you want to get lower fees. And below we have like a recap of what is Chromia, how does it work, who is behind. So as I said, it's a Swedish company. Let me recheck that to make sure I'm not wrong. Here it is, yeah, by a Swedish company, Chromia, exactly what I said at the beginning of the video. And then on the top we have the official website, we have their community. Make sure always to check the community. As more followers the coin has, the better. 72.7k is not a bad number for Twitter. And as well below we have the charts. You can use just a single price. We have the market cap chart, and then we have the trading view. The negative thing here with CoinGecko is that if I refresh that page, everything will disappear that I have over the chart. For that reason, I'm using the TradingView.com website itself, which is a trading platform. So right over here you can see that I have the analysis for Alien Worlds, for Decentraland, for Sandbox, and some of the major cryptocurrencies that I'm analyzing all the time. And here all the analysis, they don't disappear because I have paid for that platform to use it on a monthly basis or on a yearly basis. It's possible on a yearly basis as well. But there is a free version of TradingView.com where you can switch around different charts and draw analysis over your complete screen. It's a very popular platform. You can connect to many brokers and exchanges and actually use it for trading. I usually use it just for analysis, which makes it so much easier for me. Alright, so this is the analysis that we have at the moment for Chromia. One more time, I want to see more serious move right here because that Gravestone Doji just disappointed, I can say, many of the people who bought it cheaper. However, if you have bought the dips right here or at the failure of this recent low, you would be already on a profit. If you haven't, you might wait for another dip, or you might use the counter trend line that I showed, or you can use a dollar cost averaging strategy, which is probably the most suitable strategy for every beginner out there who don't know technical analysis and just want to buy crypto. So for the beginners, a very quick at the end of this video, dollar cost averaging strategy is when you buy once a week or once a month a small piece of the crypto, or let's say you buy for $10 every week or for $100. It depends what your budget is. But when you do dollar cost averaging strategy, it really doesn't matter when you are buying it. At the end of the day, when the market is positive and the price reaches new record highs, you would be on a profit. It really doesn't matter where you have bought it. Alright, so I really thank you for staying with me until the end. I really hope the video was useful to you. If it was, just hit the like button of the video to support our channel. Check out the useful links below in the description, and I will see you guys in another video. Take care, we'll see you soon.